Happy Saturday. It is January 4th, and I am working and cleaning, but I have to get with you on this because I think that this is important starting out here at the beginning of January and setting our goals. What if I told you that your breakthrough, it isn't waiting for a bigger opportunity? It isn't waiting for you to achieve something or become something or learn something. Right? It's not this thing that has to happen before you can move into that opportunity, but instead, it's just your faithfulness in the small things, the daily effort. Some of you are standing on the edge. You're right there. You're on the edge of a promise, but your inconsistency is holding you back. You feel stuck, you feel unsure, you are questioning, maybe you're frustrated, and maybe you're even thinking, am I really supposed to be doing this? Is this for me? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Maybe this isn't the right path. Maybe I'm on the wrong path. But here's the truth. God has equipped you, and he's asking for you to be faithful, not perfect, just faithful. So why do we struggle with this word consistent? Why do we struggle with consistency? We are consistent in certain things and we are not consistent in other things. We are consistent in brushing our teeth every day. Why? Because we don't want to have that bad breath. We don't want to have cavities. We don't want to put ourselves in a bad situation. We're consistent with that. We're consistent with having a cup of coffee, maybe. We're consistent with getting dressed because it's a requirement, right? But we let ourselves off the hook for a lot of other things. Why are we doing that? I think one of the first things is that we don't get immediate results. Okay. Let's be honest right there, right? When we are working on something, when we take action, but we don't see that instant change, we don't see the growth, we don't see the results, we don't see the thing happening, we allow doubt to creep in. And we think to ourselves, is this even working? Am I maybe wasting my time? Maybe I should be trying something different. So we quit before the breakthrough happens. How many of you can agree with me on that? And so we get into this start, stop, start, stop. But Galatians 6:9 says, let us not become weary in doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if what? If we do not give up. So just because you haven't seen the fruit yet doesn't mean that the roots haven't taken hold and they're not growing. It doesn't mean that. In fact, when you take your foot off the pedal and you stop doing what it is you know you should be doing, you actually stop feeding the dream. You stop feeding the purpose. You stop feeding into the results, and the roots dry up. That's why it doesn't happen, because you're not consistent. So replace that gotta have it now with Galatians 6:9. Number 2 is we have unrealistic expectations. We set these goals that are so high that if and when we don't reach them or we don't reach them quickly, we feel like a failure. We just have to take one step at a time. The old saying, you don't eat an elephant in one bite, eat it one bite at a time. Stop rushing the process. Stop rushing the process. God's timing is perfect. Proverbs 21, verse 5 says, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. We've heard that one before too. Easy come, easy go. We need to be diligent and determined in what we are working for. Replace that get it done fast to I'm going to be diligent until it happens because God's timing is perfect. Another reason might be because we fear failure or we fear success. What if I try this and I actually succeed? What if I try this and I fail? But both of those things are liars. And we have to come into agreement with truth and let the lies go. 2 Timothy 1:7, we all know it, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. Are we buying into that? Are we replacing that what if with I'm powerful because God told me that I have power, I have love, and I have a sound mind, and I can accomplish anything through Christ who strengthens me? What are we saying when we get into those situations, right? Another thing that happens sometimes is we get distracted. I mean, that is the key thing that the enemy will do. He wants to either distract you or discourage you so you'll quit or so you crash. That is what he tries to do. So we need to be aware of that and have our armor on every day. That's a no-brainer. Ephesians 6, we got to be doing it. If we're not doing it, why? Another thing is that we may not have a clear vision. Ask yourself, who is God calling me to become? What is the vision that God has given you of yourself, of your future? Who has God called you to be? That's where you have to keep your mind. You have to focus on that. I know for a long time I had that all or nothing mentality, the perfectionism, like either it's all or nothing, either I get it all done today or I don't get it done at all. But God isn't requiring us to be perfect. He just wants us to be obedient. God says, give me what you have and I will multiply it. We've seen him do it. Water into wine, fish in loaves. The woman with the jar of oil, she sell little oil and it multiplied into all these jars. Listen, guys, your small step of obedience will get you someplace, but you've got to be consistent. You've got to figure out that it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen with one push. It's not going to happen with one video or with one phone call or one visit or one customer or one sale. It's just not. You have to be consistent. God is going to look at that and say, are they going to demonstrate their faith even when it looks like it's not going to happen? So here's 7 keys, 7 things that you can do to really move you forward in that consistency building area. Okay. Number 1, celebrate the small wins, the little things that you get done. If you are trying to completely clean your house from top to bottom, give yourself a sticker for cleaning the bathroom, for keeping the kitchen clean, for making your bed every day. Celebrate those small wins, no matter what it is. Focus on the process, not the outcome. We get so caught up in that outcome of accomplishing the goal. But that's not what it's about. Fall in love with the process. When the problem comes, it's okay, God, what are you doing in this? I know this is yours. So what do you want me to do while you're handling this problem? What do you want me to do here? Get involved in what he wants you to do instead of being so focused on the outcome, because it's the process. He's working you out. Trust that God's timing is perfect. Number 3 is to reframe that delayed gratification. Go back to Galatians. Go back to Galatians and say to yourself, you know what? If I keep going, if I keep doing a good thing, I will reap a harvest. It will come together in due time. Number 4, create accountability. Find someone who will challenge you, who will encourage you, who will keep you on track. I have a few openings for coaching. If you want to maybe reach out to me, let me know, and maybe I can be your coach. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another, right? You're not meant to do this alone. Find an accountability partner. Number 5, anchor yourself in your why. Your purpose, our purpose as children of the King, is really to bring heaven to earth. So, what are we doing on a daily basis to make that happen? How are we serving others in the process? Serving God to serve others to make an impact and change lives. Number 6, set some realistic expectations. I know you've heard me say before, God is not into the realistic. He sometimes does the unrealistic, right? But in Proverbs, it says, better a patient person than a warrior. Just focus on showing up, even when it's hard, on doing something every single day to move you closer to where you want to be. Okay? Sounding good? And number 7, in Lamentations, it says that God's mercies are new every morning. So at night, you need to let go of that day. And when you wake up, it's a new day. Lord, it's a new day. Thank you for the things that you're going to do. And be thankful. And then put some expectations in there of, I know you're going to make this a great day for me. I know you're going to go before me, right? Before my feet hit the floor, I ask you, God, to go before. Every day is a new opportunity for you to begin again. So don't let yesterday's missteps, yesterday's failures, yesterday's problems come with you into today. That's God's that's God's territory. Jesus didn't die on the cross for you to keep carrying around this extra weight. He didn't. Keep going, right? Keep trusting. Look at where you're inconsistent. Ask God, where am I being inconsistent? Where do I need to be more consistent? What do I need to do on a daily basis to get me closer to becoming the person that you want me to be? What do I need to do? If I can brush my teeth every day and I can make that a habit, then I can also make other things habits. If I can make sure I have a cup of coffee, I can make sure I do this thing or that thing. We have to get more caught up in the process than the end result, because God's all about the process, the transformation. And God's promises are always true. God does the how, you do the do. Go get started right now and be consistent with it. Make it a great day.